looking into this, Habari Nation. The Epstein files just hit the public like a nuclear bomb. On January 30th, 2026, the Department of Justice dropped a massive document dump over 3.5 million files, we all know, tied to Jeffrey Epstein, and they claim it's part of a full compliance with the Epstein Files Transparency Act, even though they are not very transparent. When it comes to the files, the redactions of entire pages is still there. So the fight is not over. It's still more information that we feel should be redacted, not redacted.
Unredacted.
And some of the people that they left unredacted is ridiculous. Victims, and people are getting threats. People are scared. So it's ridiculous what people are going through. What's up, Ralph? We appreciate it, man. But what's in the release is only half the story because the fallout is already bigger than the files. We're talking about Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Prince Andrew. He's taken with the picture with the little girl on the floor. I know we've all seen the picture. Disgusting stuff. Steve Bannon is in there. Orange Summers. And yes, Donald Trump name is in there hundreds of times. Donald Trump is in there. Now they're taking Bill Clinton and Hillary to go to court, but Hillary and them, they said, let's make sure we make this public. Because the Republicans, what they were trying to do is they're just trying to make a save face. Instead of coming, what's up, Ryan? What's going on,
How
brother?
are you?
Doing well. Instead of doing what you need to do and making sure everyone is held accountable, they're playing political games by bringing in the Clintons and trying to do a hidden meeting 38,000 times. That's crazy. But the DOJ, they didn't just release documents, they released chaos. A lot of information was released because in the middle of all this transparency, the DOJ also managed to expose victim information, like I said, through sloppy redactions, names, faces, emails, almost 100 survivors. That's not transparency, that's negligence. And terrible, terrible job by the DOJ, man. They did a horrible, horrible job. But the people they are trying to protect are not the victims. That's why they did a sloppy job redacting this information, because that's not who they are trying to protect. They are trying to protect Mr. Trump at all cost, and any other people that has been in the mix and has felt the consequences of this. So be it. As long as Mr. Trump's name is not shown in the places but it doesn't make any sense because the two cases that his name comes up with is pretty bad. Pretty bad. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, but for those that are tuning in, welcome to Habari Live Wednesday. We're going to break down the story that the news outlets are ignoring. And today's episode is one of the most serious, disturbing, and revealing ones that we've ever had to do.
Oh.
You lost.
No, I'm not. I did not think it did that again, but go ahead, though.
It's bigger than who knew who. It's about power, networks, and institutional failure. And the fact that even now, after all the documentaries, after all the court cases, and the truth is still being controlled by the Trump administration. The amount of redactions that they had in there, I think the last time I counted, it was like 200 pages that had been redacted.
Yeah, man, it's pretty ridiculous, man. The amount of information that they are still hiding. I mean, we understand when it comes to these cases to redact the names of the victims, but they haven't even been able to do that. And then the information, all the blacked out pages, I feel as though they're protecting Trump to the highest. And let's start here with the basics, though, so nobody can twist this up. Something that the Trumpers will do anyway. The Epstein Files Transparency Act was passed, and the DOJ had a deadline to release the Epstein-related investigative records. That law was signed on November 19th, 2025. Then on January 30th, DOJ announces they reviewed about 6 million pages. They released around 3.5, and they claim it completes compliance. Doesn't sound like it to me. The math isn't math. And when you got 6 million, but you only release 3.5, seems like you have 3 million more there.
3.5 million more.
Exactly.
Or
No, 2.5.
2.5.
But here's what I need you all to understand. A document dump like this isn't justice. It's not accountability. It's a giant mess thrown into the public. So the public fights over celebrity names while the actual system that protects Epstein remains shielded.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Why didn't Obama or Biden release it? Because they don't control the DOJ. They let the DOJ be separate. Trump and his people ran on this. They talked about it continuously. So to try to blame others, why didn't they do it? They didn't run on it. Obama didn't run on it. Biden didn't run on it. Trump did.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But this is where it gets insulting. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche has been out there saying basically that, look, we reviewed it and nothing here allows new charges. That's their posture. And of course, people hear that and they're thinking, so all of this and nobody goes down for it. But here's the game that they're playing. They're relying on the public not understanding how prosecutions work and how time works. Because a lot of these events happened years ago. They happened across multiple jurisdictions and with victims who are minors in environments where evidence got buried. And the longer something goes on, the harder it becomes to prosecute. Not because it didn't happen, but because the system wasn't designed to punish powerful predators. It was designed to protect them.
I mean,
that's what it's doing.
It seems when you look at the deals that he was given, when you look at how long it took him to get prosecuted, we're hearing that the police, the FBI knew about this as far back as 1995, where cases that were probably viable were ignored because these people have money. You know, that the part that's it's just ridiculous when you look at how law enforcement have treated women that come in with cases, and we've seen time after time these the officers have backed up files of rape and the sexual assault cases that they haven't even looked into. America has a problem of ignoring the issues of women when they are coming forward, and that's why a lot of women don't come forward, because their complaints and what they ask for is always pushed under the rug and ignored. No one cares, and it's ridiculous, man. Now everybody talking about, oh, it's both sides, Democrat and Republicans, but hey, man, you see Steve Bannon, you see a lot of people that deal with Trump. You know, we seen Gates, we got Bill Clinton. His name is in there. They'll be going to trial, to at least to Congress to talk about the files. You know, they said they'll come. They'll be open as possible. But we have Trump's name with several allegations, several terrible allegations, man. Things that he's supposedly done. The accusations are horrible. Little girls saying what he did to them. It's crazy to see him try to duck the questions and get mad at anybody who asks him anything about it. It's horrible. Everybody's pointing fingers at everyone else, talking about how everyone else needs to be held liable. But a lot of people aren't pointing at Trump, man, which is the craziest. I don't know why, but somehow he's sliding by. A lot of people are saying that they were sealed. I don't understand. I wish that he did release them. I know that the right, that's all they want to talk about. But I know that I wish he would have. Maybe less people would have voted for this dude, but I doubt it. I doubt that anything would have changed people's mind from voting from Trump's. I really don't. I don't think that this matters, and the people who like him still would have liked him. He would have got up and said, "Oh, it's just a Democrat host," and y'all would have believed it. And I just don't think it would have mattered if Biden would have released the files. He still would be the president. And that's the sucky part. It doesn't matter. He said it. I can shoot somebody and they would still love me. That's what we have here today. It doesn't matter what this dude does. He could do whatever he wants. And they're still going to love him. And let's talk about what might be the most unforgettable part of the entire release, though. The DOJ got hit with major backlash for sloppy redactions, and it reportedly exposed the identities of nearly 100 victims, supposedly. Their names, their faces, their emails. They had to temporarily remove thousands of pages to scrub them again. And this is the second time this happened, because on the first dump, this happened also. Sloppy redactions, information that was supposed to be withheld, let go loosely into the public. And I want to say this clearly, though, for everyone. If you cannot protect the fucking victims, then you do not deserve to call yourself the fucking Department of Justice. Mm-hmm. This is re-traumatization at a federal level, man. And it makes people question this motive. Who was this, carelessness? Or was this part of the plan to try to keep the eyes off of Trump? To make everything so messy and fucking destructive that people can't do nothing but argue amongst themselves, and then they can never really figure out what the fuck is really going on. Everyone walks away disgusted, confused, and exhausted. People have been combing through the files for all week, and it's been a lot of things that have came out. A lot of them cannot be confirmed or proved that these things really happened, because we don't know how far their investigation went. If they look into these accusations, we just see them on paper. We don't know how true, how real none of this stuff is. Only thing we can do is see it and just shake our head at how the rich has been able to get away with treating women like this for forever. It's insane. Insane. And I want everyone to pay. I don't care which side. The Clintons had anything to do with this, they should also pay. But they should not be the only people held accountable. If they're going to court, then Trump should have to go to court also. He should be held accountable also. I don't know how we can't blame Trump, man, for his own actions, man. I have to agree with Olivia here. Like, this is the guy. He's a grown man. Why do you guys keep on fighting for him to never face responsibility for anything he does? Like, this is craziness. Now, I want to say this for legal clarity. Being named does not equal guilt, but also being named does not equal innocence. It's questions, and we all have them. Mm-hmm. Now, let's get into Elon Musk. What you got?
Yep. One of the biggest headlines, Elon Musk. Here's what we need to say carefully. The files reportedly include records of interactions, visits, messages, and documentation. One message allegedly asks Epstein something like, when the wildest party would be on the island. Now, if that's accurate, we don't necessarily know. That's not an oops, I ain't know nothing about that. It's not a I'm just networking type of interaction. That was purely party planning. Mm-hmm. But again, people need to understand the difference between confirmed evidence versus documented claims. And that's what we're going to break down for you today. Still, because the public isn't crazy for raising their eyebrows, because this isn't some random billionaire. This is Elon Musk we're talking about, who has major federal contracts, political influence, cultural influence, and this continues the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Epstein surrounded himself with men who had money, power, and access.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about Bill Gates a little bit here. Now, his wife did come out and say, she was with him at those times, and it was a stressful time for her. She is ex. Bill came out and said he was never on the island. He did have dinners with him and met with the guy. He did stop being friends with him at a certain point. But Bill, this hurts, man. And I think Bill does a lot of good things, and I think he gets a bad rap that he doesn't deserve, especially when it comes to the health and medicine that he helps around the world to people, and the things that he does in Africa and everything else. But Epstein was mad at Bill for some of the things that he was doing helping Africa, and he called Africans losers, and he was a racist. That goes hand in hand. Pedophile and racist hand in hand for some reason. But this is looks bad on Bill Gates right now. We get into it, and which is not new, but there's supposedly new details in there. And the Gates camp has dismissed some of the claims as lurid, calling them absurd and false. But again, we have to say this: we even if you didn't participate in Epstein's crimes, why were you so close to this guy? Why were
Right.
you around a convicted predator? Well, I mean, he wasn't convicted at that time, but it seems like some people should have known
That
what
this
was
man was
going
a
on with this
predator.
dude.
Right.
And why did Epstein have so much access to people who run global health efforts, philanthropy, tech policy, international diplomacy? He was in it with royals, presidents, congressmen, all type powerful people that this guy was cool with. And that's what the public is asking, man. We want to know more. What is going on? What was being held? So now let's talk about old Trumpy.
Mm, 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 mm. Now let's deal with the loudest part here. Trump's name appears hundreds
He
of
said
thousands
38,000
of
times.
times,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a mix. Some is Epstein sharing news articles, some are allegations, some are unverified references. But here's the point: the fact that this story turns into Democrat versus Republican is how Epstein keeps winning from the grave.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be honest. Because predators don't operate in political parties, they operate in power circles.
Right.
Who's got the power? Who's got the money? Who's got the control?
Mm-hmm. And here's another one of these bastards, Prince Andrew. I can say with the Prince Andrew situation, the royals have moved fast to remove his prince status, to remove him from the homes that he had, that he was given for his status. In America, we're just, well, whatever. Trump's get away with it. Everybody gets away with it. Nobody faces any accountability.
Mm-hmm.
But I can say that at least the British have held this man to account when it comes to what he has done, snatching his titles away.
Right.
And he should be in jail, but at least they gave him something. What are we doing in America? We've known that Trump was all over these files forever. We made this man a president fucking twice. So he faces no accountability. That's why he feels as though he can do whatever the fuck he wants to.
Yep.
That's why he says things like that, because he knows nobody's going to hold him to account because he's a rich white guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's disturbing, man.
Very disturbing.
Very disturbing. The latest materials and pictures that came out with Prince Andrew was just disgusting. And it reportedly includes photos of him degrading imagery, unclear time. But we saw it. Him on top of a little girl, the face blacked out. But we see this is obviously a little girl. Disgusting. We don't know for sure the context of what they were doing in why he was on, but your imagination runs in situation like that. And a grown ass man on top of a little girl in that situation is just, oh my goodness.
Mm.
And you got fucking Epstein in videos running around chasing little girls through his kitchen. Like disgusting stuff, man. These people are just nasty. Everybody, man, that has something to do with this, man, just needs to go away, including the fucking president. Like, we don't have the full chain of custody and surrounding details to definitely describe or say for sure what was going on in the fucking pictures, but it's your eyes can see it's too close to a little girl in that situation. Period. But the public is highly concerned, man. This further confirms what people already believed about Epstein's international network and what was going on that fucking island. Now let's talk a little bit about Lawrence Summers and Steve Bannon and how they were in the files also.
Two names that matter for a different reason. Lawrence Summers, who was a former Treasury Secretary, and Steve Bannon, a political operator and power broker. Summers had emails with Epstein gossiping about Trump apparently as late as 2017. Bannon, correspondence about a possible documentary project. Let's pause for a second there. Why is Epstein, even after everything, in conversations with the elites? That alone should terrify you.
Mm-hmm.
This man is conversating with the elites, so he can still be protected.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's in there, Ryan. I mean, we didn't want to talk about those things. Those things are kind of crazy, and it's without being substantiated, it's hard to talk about those type things online. Some of the things that were said about Trump, I don't even want to repeat them. They're so crazy. And for this guy to be the president right now is just it's crazy, man. Because these accusations are insane. But one of the biggest developments are the Clintons saying they will testify, and they have agreed to testify, and they said they want it to be in public. We don't know how much they're going to know, but we do know that Bill Clinton knew the guy. We know that. And we feel as though if Bill is going to be held to this and have to come to trial, then we want to see Trump in the same fucking place. Or it's some bullshit. We want to see Bannon. We want to see all these motherfuckers. Not just Bill and Hillary Clinton because the Republicans want to play fucking politics like always.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting, man. Any more protection for these motherfuckers is bullshit, and we ain't taking it. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton reportedly agreed to testify to a House investigation this February, partly to avoid contempt issues because they wanted to hold them for contempt while ignoring everyone else that is in the fucking files. Trump names in there more than anyone, and somehow he's not the first person that they bring.
Man,
because they're playing fucking politics. They don't really give a fuck about the victims. They don't care about the fucking Americans. They don't give a fuck about us. They're going to keep playing politics. Like I said, man, before, man, you look back in the 60s and 70s, motherfuckers had fucking backbones. They held Nixon ass to account. That's why he quit. But now we don't believe in that. We're going to let this dude do whatever the fuck he wants. We're not going to hold him. We're not going to bring him to fucking court. We're not going to hold him to contempt when the same motherfuckers took Bill Clinton to court for impeachment for getting some head. Now rape and pedophilia. Let's go over the Clintons. We're not going to go after the dude that's in it every other fucking sentence. Insane shit. Anybody with a fucking brain will see that this is some bull. But they're not going to hold them to account. They're going to let this dude keep on sitting on cussing reporters out for even bringing it up. We're going to keep on letting this guy treat everybody like trash and not bring him to court. It's crazy as fuck.
That's real.
I'm going to keep it real, man. The Clintons have had accusations, rumors, and political weapons thrown at them for decades. So their involvement becomes a magnet for conspiracy culture. They hate Hillary. They hate Bill. It's hate. And they did a great job when he was in office in '90s. But that doesn't mean the dude is perfect. He could have made some mistakes and did some crazy shit. He cheated on his wife. We see him on these files, so we want to hear what he got to say. There was never any proof that was pushed that he had anything to do with these things. The police never went after him about any of these things. But he doesn't have the crazy accusation in these files that Trump has. And Trump has several accusations from different people. But let's keep this grounded, man. Testifying doesn't mean guilt from the Clintons' part. It means Congress wants some answers, man. And it means that Epstein's story refuses to disappear. We all want some answers. And we don't think that the Clintons are the only people that should be held to the standard of getting answers. Everyone that's in these fucking files should have to come. Period. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how they gave him immunity, man. But that's going to backfire. When the day comes and it's a Democrat president and he's doing things that they don't like, and the president's able to do whatever he wants because the Supreme Court gave him immunity over everything, they'll be bitching and crying. But they are the ones that did it. So they don't have anyone to blame but them fucking selves.
Exactly. But now here's where this episode becomes bigger than any one celebrity. Advocates and members of Congress are saying millions of documents are still being withheld, even after this massive release. The DOJ is claiming that they are in compliance. Critics claim that there's a cover-up. But here's the problem. Even in this release, people are saying that the redactions are random, they're inconsistent, and they're excessive, not just for victim protection. And if that is true, then the DOJ is using privacy protection as a blanket shield to hide powerful predators while failing to actually protect the actual victims themselves. And that's the worst possible outcome that we are seeing. We are watching unfold.
Right. Yeah, man, you're right. A lot of innocent people somehow are listed, but all these people keep hollering they haven't done anything. You've done a lot because you've had something to do with this guy. This was your homeboy. And in Trump's situation, it was his best friend. All these people were hanging out with this dude, having dinners, going to his house, chilling. And I'm not saying you always know everything about somebody, man, because sometimes you just don't know. Some people are hiding who they are, and that can happen. But when we see the conversations that Trump had with Mr. Epstein, we know for sure that he knew a little something. But these guys fighting over girls and talking about girls now, don't come back, and the things that they were discussing, and how Epstein talked to, we have a fellow lover of ladies in the White House, is what was said in one of these emails. So I don't know, man. It seems to me that he knew a lot more than what that he's coming off.
Leads you to think that his death wasn't actually what it was.
I don't know, man. Lance, if the information is redacted and people feel as though that the data that is released, that has, because we know it's a certain amount of files, and if we don't get those certain amount of files, people are still going to be asking questions, and the redactions isn't helping the situation either. So I think people will come. I mean, you might be right. There's some people who won't be happy no matter what's released. Some people won't believe what's in the files no matter what, even though they've been crying for them for years, because it's not going the way they wanted to go. You know, the Republicans wanted to just be Democrats in these files, but the dude was cool with people from both sides. He wasn't worried about that. He was trying to just get close to powerful people. And he was able to do that. So here's our position at Habari, man. We do not care about partisan spin. We don't give a fuck. We don't care what side you're from. We don't care about PR cleanups. We don't care about celebrity damage control. We care about three things: protect the fucking victims, expose enablers, and prosecute accomplices where possible. And if the DOJ claims no charges are possible, then show the public why. Because you cannot build trust with secrecy, with hiding information, with redacting information. And that's what's going on right now. So we thank you for rocking with us on a heavy topic, man. If you want justice, you can't just want headlines. You have to want accountability, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it hits people like you. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Become a part of Habari Nation. And if you want, you can become a member of I think it's like $2. Become a member, man. That would really help us out a lot to build up the studio, to get more journalists, more writers, more people that's on location learning about what's going on. Habari is trying to build a news paper, man, a media news paper that covers everyone and everything that people care about, you and I. The things that make us go get up and worry and have to go and make changes. We want to cover those things. We want to be better about what's going on and make sure you people know, instead of the mainstream media hiding the information that they don't want us to know. Let's build it up, man. Go ahead and become a member. We really would appreciate it.
Help us get to 10,000.
Thank you, Ryan. We appreciate you, bro. Thank you. I hope so. All right, man. Y'all have a good rest of y'all Wednesday. We will see you back here on Saturday morning, 11 a.m. We'll talk to you then. Until then, peace out.
Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get updates on news, the podcast, and more. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to visit www.habarientertainment.com. See you next week. Peace.